what's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive into our first news. Umar Nurmagomedov has fired back at Ilia following his recent comments about Islam ahead of UFC 321. During a press conference earlier this week, Ilia took a harsh shot at Islam, saying that when Islam loses to JDM, his career will be destroyed, and he'll have to go back to his farm to herd sheep. The remarks quickly spread online, sparking a wave of reactions from fans and fighters alike. Now Umar has stepped in to respond, defending his teammate and calling out Ilia's arrogance. At the UFC 321 pre-fight press conference, Umar addressed the issue directly. You know, there's a saying from Manny Pacquiao that any fighter who talks down on others will eventually be the one who gets brought down in the ring. Umar said, "I think those words mean something. They have real value." He went on to explain that while Ilia's comments were disrespectful, he refuses to engage on the same level. "We could say things back," Umar continued. "We could match his energy and say if he loses, he can go back to working in a store, selling clothes, or whatever he does. But what's the point?" Umar emphasized that Islam's life outside fighting has nothing to do with arrogance or image. With or without being a champion, Islam has a farm, he said. He takes care of his sheep. He does the farmer stuff there. That's part of who he is. It's his lifestyle, something separate from fighting. It's not shameful. It's humble work. He then made it clear that the team stands for discipline and respect, not trash talk and pride. "We can talk on that same level if we want to," Umar said. "We can play that game, but there's no reason to bring ourselves down to that level. That's not what we do. We stay focused, we stay respectful, and we let our fighting speak for us." Umar's calm but firm response stood in contrast to Ilia's fiery comments, showing the difference in attitude between the two camps. While Ilia continues to stir controversy with his bold remarks, Umar and Islam remain focused on their preparation and performance inside the cage. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, at the recent UFC event in Vancouver, after 3 hard-fought rounds, Ayman Zahabi secured an impressive victory over Marlon Vera by decision. Following his win, Zahabi used his post-fight octagon interview to call out Sean O'Malley. However, O'Malley later reacted to the call-out with a video mocking Zahabi, appearing to dismiss the challenge entirely. In a recent interview with Ariel Helwani, Zahabi addressed O'Malley's reaction and made it clear that he didn't take any offense to it. "Him making the video to me is an acknowledgement of the call-out," Zahabi said. "At least he saw it and responded. That's something." Helwani pointed out that O'Malley seemed to be clowning on him, but Zahabi quickly shut that down. "How can he clown on me?" he said. "I just won 7 straight and he's coming off 2 losses. He can't clown on me. It doesn't make sense." Zahabi explained that fighting him would actually benefit O'Malley's career. "It benefits him to beat a guy who's on a 7-fight win streak, right?" Zahabi continued. "Plus, I'm turning 38 in a few weeks. Doesn't he want a layup? Doesn't he need something to make himself look good again? Beat an old guy like me. Come on, fight old Uncle Ayman." He chuckled as he imagined facing O'Malley, saying, "Get over here, little guy. I'll give him a little noogie in the fight, you know what I mean?" He went on to break down the situation at bantamweight, noting that O'Malley's recent struggles make another title shot unlikely anytime soon. "He's lost twice to the champ. When you lose to the champ 2 times, you're not getting another title fight, you know? So he's gotta fight somebody," Zahabi said. "And Merab is doing the other job. He's taking out the top contenders, number 2, 3, 4, 5, one by one," Zahabi added confidently. "By June next year, I'll be up there. I'll be right in the mix." His calm but sharp tone made it clear that he's not just chasing attention. He genuinely believes he deserves a shot at someone like O'Malley. With his win streak, experience, and hunger to test himself against the division's best, Zahabi seems ready to prove he belongs among the top names in the bantamweight division. Moving on to another news, on the same card, Brendan Allen secured a strong victory over Reinier de Ridder. After the fight, Allen joined Submission Radio to share his thoughts on the unexpected ending, as Ditter's corner decided to stop the fight. Allen admitted that the result caught him off guard, especially considering the level of experience both fighters had. "It's very weird," Allen said. "You don't expect that, especially at this level. At that level, you never expect something like that to happen." He explained that before the fight, he had told everyone that he would break Ditter mentally and physically, and while he's done that to fighters before, this was the first time an opponent didn't answer the bell. "I've broken guys before where they kind of just let things happen," he said, "but never have I gone with someone who didn't answer the bell. So yeah, man, it was very weird." Allen went on to describe the exact moment it happened. "I was still listening to my corner when I saw, out of my peripheral vision, his corner waving it off," he recalled. "Then I saw them throw the towel. By the time that towel came in, I already knew it was over." Despite winning convincingly, Allen expressed genuine surprise that a top-level opponent would quit on the stool. "It's just something you don't expect," he said. "When you're in the top 5 in the world, fighting in the best promotion in the world, you don't expect another man to quit on the stool. It's shocking." Allen added that while every fighter has their breaking point, seeing a world-class competitor stop fighting in that way felt strange. That's a fraction of what I didn't expect, he continued. I've been in wars, I've been broken, but I've never quit on the stool. That's something I can't really understand. The win further cements Brendan Allen's position as one of the top middleweights in the division, while questions now surround RDR's mindset after his corner's surprising decision to end the fight early. Moving on to another news, Dustin has finally revealed the real reason behind his incredible punching power. Known for his devastating knockout ability, even Khabib once said that Dustin hits like a truck. In a recent video posted to his social media, Dustin shared an interesting detail that might explain why his punches cause so much damage inside the octagon. According to him, the UFC had him tested on a DEXA machine, which measures bone density, and the results were shocking. The most accurate answer to why I hit so hard, Dustin said, is a combination of my athletic ability from being a pitcher and a quarterback, and my bone density. He went on to explain that the test results showed something remarkable. UFC put me on a DEXA machine, and at the time they said they could not confirm or deny that I had the densest bones they had ever tested, but I definitely have some of the most dense bones in the UFC, and that definitely helps when my bones touch people. His statement sheds light on the natural physical advantage that might contribute to his legendary power. Over the years, Dustin has earned a reputation for being one of the hardest hitters in the lightweight division, delivering brutal knockouts and fight-of-the-night performances against some of the toughest opponents in the world. Dustin's mix of athletic background, explosive movement, and unique bone structure has made him a nightmare for anyone standing across from him. His ability to generate force with precision and timing, combined with his durability, continues to make him one of the most dangerous strikers in the sport. With this revelation, fans now have a clearer understanding of why his punches land with such devastating impact every time he steps into the cage. Moving on to another news, RDR has finally spoken out following his controversial loss to Brendan Allen at UFC Vancouver. Taking to Instagram, RDR opened up about the defeat and admitted that the result was tough to accept. He revealed that he's taking some much-needed time off to recover both mentally and physically, after what he described as one of the most difficult moments of his career. I was not the best fighter in the cage on Saturday, and it stings, RDR wrote. But next to all the crazy highs, I'm also grateful to experience the lows. So many people go through life at a constant 6 out of 10, but as fighters, we get to experience the full range of emotions. He continued by reflecting on his work ethic, saying, if we've shared the mats, you know I tend to work harder than anybody else. But over the last 2 camps, I might have pushed myself too far. I was so focused on getting that title and being ready for my chance that I failed to listen to my body. RDR admitted that his overtraining might have been a key factor in his performance against Allen. Last Saturday that showed, he said. I shall not stray from the course, but Daddy is taking some time off, kids. I was not myself, but I will be again. His message carried a mix of honesty, humility, and determination, showing that he's ready to regroup and come back stronger. He ended his post by thanking his supporters and reminding fans that he's far from done. If you know me, you know what I'm coming for. Be nice out there and see you soon, RDR concluded. His statement made it clear that while the loss was a setback, it's only fueling his motivation to return to the cage better than ever. Moving on to another news, Jon Jones has released his first official statement following the heartbreaking passing of his older brother, Arthur Jones. Earlier this month, Arthur, a former NFL defensive lineman and Super Bowl champion, sadly passed away at just 39 years old. For 3 weeks, Jon remained mostly silent, only sharing a few short messages with fans. But now he has finally opened up about his loss, posting an emotional tribute to his brother on social media. In loving memory of Arthur W. Jones III, Jon wrote, Arthur was not just a Super Bowl champion, but a father, a spouse, a son, a brother, everyone's best friend. He was a gentle giant whose kindness and generosity knew no bounds. Jon described how much his brother loved spending time outdoors, saying he loved duck hunting, fishing, and riding four-wheelers with his family. He brought pure joy, warmth, and laughter to every single moment spent around him. Jon went on to share that Arthur's kindness wasn't limited to those closest to him. Arthur's generosity extended far beyond his friends and family, he wrote. He was always involved in local charities, giving back to students and the community with an open heart. Jon said that his brother's legacy will continue to inspire him and the rest of their family every single day. He added, our dad, Arthur Jones Jr., me, Chandler, Arthur Jones IV, and the rest of the family are committed to moving forward, striving to be the best versions of ourselves, just as he would have wanted. Jon ended the post with a message full of love and sorrow, saying, King Arthur will truly be missed. He's gone way too soon, but his spirit will live on in our hearts forever. Rest easy, big bro. You deserve it. You did amazing. It's a touching reminder of the deep bond shared between the Jones brothers, a family of athletes who've each reached incredible heights in their respective sports. Jon's message reflects not only his grief, but also his immense pride in the man his brother was, honoring Arthur's life, his strength, and his legacy that continues to live on. Moving on to another news, heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall is set to defend his title for the very first time since being promoted from interim to undisputed status in the main event of UFC 321 this Saturday night. Ahead of the highly anticipated clash, former two-time middleweight champion Israel Adesanya shared his thoughts and prediction for the upcoming heavyweight title fight between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane. According to Israel, this matchup won't go the distance and he believes Tom will come out victorious. "I'm excited for this fight," Israel said. "This is not going to go the distance. I don't think so. I'm going with Tom in this one because his momentum right now is just crazy, man. The way he's been finishing guys lately, it's been unreal." However, Israel was quick to clarify that it won't be an easy fight for Tom, acknowledging that styles make fights. "I'm not saying it's going to be easy," he continued. "Just because Jon handled Gane easily doesn't mean Tom will do the same. Every fight is different, but Tom brings that power, that precision, and that speed, especially for a heavyweight. That speed, combined with the mass he carries, is a dangerous weapon." Israel also gave credit to Gane, praising his technical style and composure inside the cage. "I like Gane. I like his style. He's smooth, calculated, and intelligent in the way he moves. I just want to see a good fight. I think this is going to be a high-level mixed martial arts heavyweight battle. This is what the sport is all about. Two elite athletes at the top of their game, competing for the title of the baddest man on the planet." He went on to remind fans that the heavyweight belt always carries a special kind of prestige. "The heavyweight guy is always the baddest man on the planet," Israel said. "This is for the belt." Gane's also a former champion, so he knows that feeling. He's tasted it before, and I know he wants it back. Still, Israel believes Tom Aspinall's combination of speed, timing, and momentum will be too much to handle. "It's going to be a hard drug to get away from Tom," he said, wrapping up his prediction. "He's dangerous, confident, and right now he's fighting like a man on a mission." Moving on to another news, Daniel Cormier has once again made headlines after blasting the current state of the UFC heavyweight division. During Tom Aspinall's recent media day, DC sat down with the interim heavyweight champion for an interview. The two shared a friendly exchange on camera, but after the cameras were supposed to stop rolling, Cormier pulled Aspinall aside to have what he thought was a private conversation. What DC didn't realize, however, was that Aspinall was still wearing a live mic, and their entire chat ended up being recorded, something the champ later shared on his YouTube channel. In the leaked clip, Cormier can be heard telling Aspinall that the heavyweight division has become incredibly weak compared to the past. "These matchups in this division, man, like what type of one you can go for? It's crazy," DC said. "You're on the verge of something huge. These moments don't come around often." He went on to encourage Aspinall, saying that if he keeps working hard, he could easily define this era of heavyweights. "You gotta keep working hard though," DC added, "because right now, you're in a position most guys only dream about. You can change your life with one fight." Cormier then compared Aspinall's moment to his own time as champion. He recalled when he got the chance to defend his belt against Volkan Ozdemir, calling it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. "When I got to fight Volkan, man, I couldn't believe it," DC said. "It was like I won the lottery. They told me, 'Hey, we think you're fighting Volkan.' And I said, 'Yes, I'll take it.'" His tone suggested that he believed Aspinall now finds himself in that same kind of situation, the kind where everything can change overnight. But underneath the encouragement, Cormier's comments also carried a heavy critique of today's heavyweight landscape. He made it clear that outside of Aspinall, there aren't many names that truly excite him. The division, in his eyes, lacks the depth and danger it once had. It's a far cry from the era when legends like Stipe Miocic, Francis Ngannou, and Cain Velasquez dominated the scene. For DC, the message was simple. The division needs a spark, and Aspinall might be the one to bring it back to life. Whether Cormier meant to make his comments public or not, his words have certainly ignited a conversation about just how competitive the heavyweight class really is right now. Moving on to another news, Daniel Cormier's recent comments about the heavyweight division have stirred up mixed reactions across the MMA community. Many fans didn't take kindly to DC's remarks, calling them unfair and disrespectful. One fan wrote that saying Jelton Almeida can't fight is just plain disrespectful, adding that if Almeida were a Dagestani fighter, DC would be hyping him up non-stop. Another fan said, "Damn DC, that's rough," while others accused him of acting fake and trying to play his old fight persona again, like when he used to talk trash to Ryan Bader. Some even joked that if DC met Jelton now, he would probably be praising him endlessly. A few fans also pointed out that this was a bad look look for DC, saying it made him seem biased, something commentators should always avoid. Others argued that private conversations should stay private and that Aspinall posting the clip might have gone too far. Despite the backlash, the situation has definitely sparked debate, with fans split between defending DC's honesty and criticizing his tone. The controversy once again highlights how powerful words can be in shaping opinions within the fight world. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall has finally reacted to the viral clip of Daniel Cormier praising him during a private conversation that was accidentally caught on a live mic. During the UFC 321 press conference earlier today, Tom was asked how it felt to receive such high praise from DC, who was heard saying that no heavyweight in the division could beat him. Tom responded with humility and honesty, acknowledging DC's words but staying grounded in his mindset. He said that the heavyweight division is the most dangerous and unpredictable division in the entire sport, where anything can happen on any given night. According to Tom, he does believe that his level is above everyone else's right now, but that doesn't mean he's unbeatable. He admitted that while he feels like the best heavyweight in the world, he still has a lot to prove inside the octagon. Tom made it clear that he's not taking anything for granted and is focused on continuing to evolve as a fighter. His balanced and mature response once again showed the composure and respect that have made him one of the most admired champions in the sport today. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall has made it clear that he's not particularly interested in chasing fights with Alex Pereira or Jon Jones. During his recent media interview ahead of UFC 321, the heavyweight champion addressed the ongoing discussions about potential super fights and gave a grounded response that perfectly reflects his mindset as a true competitor when asked about how fighters like Alex and Jon seem to be circling around him for other matchups instead of facing the reigning champion. Tom handled the question with calm confidence. He said that this kind of situation isn't new to him, as throughout his career, even before joining the UFC, he often found it difficult to get fights because many opponents didn't want to face him. According to Tom, some things never change, even when you're the champion. He explained that while some of the bigger names might not be interested in stepping into the cage with him right now, there are still plenty of hungry contenders in the division who want that shot. He acknowledged that Alex and Jon have both done enough in their careers to make their own decisions and chase whatever fights they want, and he has no issue with that. For Tom, being champion means one thing: fighting the #1 contender. He believes that's how a real champion should operate. You defend your belt against the next best guy, prove that you're the best, and then repeat the process for as long as possible. It's a simple, no-nonsense approach that shows Tom's focus is entirely on legacy and competition, not on hype or chasing big-name cross-division fights.